Honk if you're horny.
Exactly.
Beep, beep. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Marckie P Show. Another one. We got another one. I have one of my boys, international superstar DJ. Very, very handsome. I love him. This is the biggest guest I've had on the show so far. Makj.
I mean,
Makj.
I'm not that cool, but
no, you
I
are.
love you to death.
I know. How you been, brother?
I've been good, dude. This year's been, last year was wild, but
This year's still wild.
Get back to normal. It's still wild, dude. Not gonna lie, but getting back to normal.
Yeah.
Getting back to normal, man.
I mean, you grew a mustache over quarantine, which was elite level stuff.
Dude, I had a mustache, and then everyone was like, "This guy looks like a pedophile."
No,
so I had
to take the good with the bad.
Then I started growing this really immature beard that's really patchy, so I got to shave this too. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna go with the Jax Teller, Sons of Anarchy thing.
I love that.
You know,
yeah,
I just want to try a few things. I want to become a man. I'm 30 years old now. I just want to feel like I'm a man.
Yeah, I mean, I've had this beard since I was 9, so I've also been a man since I was 9.
I was gonna say I was never the kid that grew hair under his armpits until I was like 17. So you probably had hair on your chest out of the womb.
Yeah. Actually, when my mom popped me out, the doctor shaved me down. Literally was just like, here you go, fucking shave them down. I was a little Sasquatch. What?
I know some. There's an Armenian kid in our school when he was like 7th grade. And this kid looked like a He-Man. And every parent, when we played football, was like, that kid is not 13 years old. He is not 13. Yeah. I am 13.
I used to deal with that. I was like a little bit taller, a little bit chunkier, had a mustache.
You were taller? How does that work?
Like when I was younger, I was like always a little bit taller than everybody else.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha. I thought you shrunk. I'm like, I feel bad for you, dude.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. What else have you been up to during quarantine?
Man, I was just talking to some artists about this. You can work on as much music. Like I've been in this studio, I've been locking myself away. I started this other kind of mystique project that I'm really excited on. It's fun to do things that is out of the norm. You know, you might as well do it. If you got the time, take risks, I guess.
Yeah.
But out on the Makj side of stuff, it's been really hard because people are relying on club music. So all my fans when I push music out, if I put something out more melodic, or I put something out that like your mom or your dad want to listen to in the car driving to Sunday brunch.
Right.
If I put something out like that, it just doesn't make sense for my brand.
Right.
So it's been kind of a hiccup process with making club music when there's no clubs open. Right. So then you start going to Spotify and you start seeing all these other DSPs and streaming services that you're really competing with stuff that even if you try a lot to go on the bandwagon of doing melodic stuff, more radio friendly stuff, it's hard because your fan base that you have been devoted to. I mean, man, I've been doing this for 10 years now. Right. And so my fan base is relying on certain styles of music. So locking myself in the studio and having the motivation to make club music has been a challenge. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, there's no clubs open, and going back to like, back in the day when you were fucking absolutely crushing ultra stuff and like the club music was, live. Now it's because nobody can go to clubs, like your new song, the one you just dropped, Promises, absolute smash. I love it, but it's a little outside the box for you, right? I mean, it's not the true Makj sound of old, right? The big club pop.
It's hard, and I signed with Armada this year, which is a Dutch label, and they've been really supportive about getting my original sound out there, but also trying to make it more, I wouldn't say mainstream, but just kind of keep that listenable. It's easy listening music. That's how I like to describe it. It's not like in your face, like, oh my God, I'm going to the club tonight. Right. Yeah,
fucking 2 fists in there, baby. Let's go.
Dude, I'm like I said, dude, I'm 30 years old. I'm not sitting in my car blasting EDM anymore. Like I just don't do that. So it's really hard for me to get motivated when it comes down to making club music.
Yeah.
So keeping that same vibe with like Promises and Green Light came out before that. A lot of the stuff that I'm pushing out now is progressing more back towards the norm.
Right.
So hopefully I can time it right, that these records that I have like 7 or 8 records slotted with Armada this year. All these records hopefully will be slotted when COVID is done,
right,
or the clubs are reopened when the norm is back. So that's the plan. It's been a struggle for sure for all artists. And yeah, man, I've been focusing on mustaches and playing golf, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy.
I love following your story on Instagram, dude. You're playing so much golf, and I'm so envious because it's freezing cold here. And you're also hitting the links with a guy who I think is spectacular.
Which is who?
Money Manziel.
Oh man, Johnny.
Oh, dude,
Johnny. Yeah.
You catch him at like the funniest times on the golf course, where he's just like on his phone sitting on a rock. It's like,
that's Johnny though, man. Johnny's a good guy, man. He's a ride or die homie for sure. He is. Him and I wouldn't say we lived a similar life, but when it comes down to being young and kind of be put in your situations where you just have no idea.
Right.
I mean, dude, this isn't Johnny Manziel. Like his past is his past and my past is my past. But at the same time, you grow.
Yeah, you grow.
Situations like that. And it's like how you take it. I mean, dude, I feel like I've lived a life of 5.
I mean,
you know,
you have, dude. You've traveled the entire world playing music for people at, clubs and festivals and house parties, I assume. And being a traveling artist really just takes a lot out of you, man. Like you said, you've lived 5 lives essentially.
It's crazy. It's not, like I'm blessed to have this job. It was hard to, hey parents, I'm going to become a DJ.
Yeah. From being a race car driver. Little known fact.
Hey.
Little known fact.
I mean, that was wild too. I've lived a crazy life. COVID has made me realize the life I've lived and really what a routine is. Man, I've never had a routine in my entire life.
Yeah.
I was doing the racing stuff until I was about 18. And then after that, I tried college and I'm like, nah, I'm good on this.
Same.
And then around 20, I moved to LA. And then from 20 until now, I was just like grind, DJ, make music, eat blocks of cheese, feel like shit,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, now this is the first time in about 6-7 years, dude, that I've ever had a routine. That's waking up at the same time, going to sleep at the same time, eating when I can eat. I can go to my fridge and grab something to eat. It's been 9 months like this, and it's wild. I've never been fitter in my entire life.
Yeah.
I've never had as many friends as I do. My family is super supportive. I'm really close with my family. So it's like COVID has been a disaster for everybody. It's been a disaster for me. But the bright side of it is I got to step back and realize, damn, maybe I did need to slow down because I was losing a lot
that
I didn't know I was losing.
Yeah. I've been in the industry for a little over 10 years as well. And you don't realize exactly what you put your body through. And my job is different than yours. I mean, I show up to the Northeast and I work in a club with artists. It's really the same club or multiple venues. But my routine hasn't necessarily been wake up at 5, get on a plane, go to a new venue, play, sleep for an hour, get on a plane, go to a new venue. You know what I mean? So,
but the thing is, like, your job, everyone in the entertainment industry, I mean, there's been so many times where you probably like, dude, I don't want to go to the nightclub. I don't want to smell like Grey Goose and have dudes flash their cigarettes on me. Like, no. Then I go home and I'm starving and it's 3:00 in the morning and you go, oh man, if I eat, I'm going to wake up like a piece.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, it's the same thing but in different ways. Yeah, of course. Getting on a plane at 5 a.m. when you're hungover and you have to do it for a week straight in China and hopefully you're not going to die. That's a struggle. But at the same time, I could be working at Subway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my first job was making sandwiches and I always remember I will never do that ever again. So, you got to look at the grass is greener if you put your mind to it, and you have to have good work ethic, man. And kids always ask me, hey man, like, how do I get my music out there? Hey, if you keep doing it, good artists will be found. That's how it works in this industry. So like I said, it's been a wild 2020 and 2021's been kind of crazy, but I got a show this weekend. I'm playing in Miami.
We talked about Miami.
And then
We talked about Miami in the last podcast, dude. Miami is just not a real place. Where are you playing?
It's not a real place.
Where are you playing?
So I have this private show that I'm doing in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
It's like 100 people, and it's like a few other artists. And then Sunday, I think whatever Sunday is, the 17th.
Yeah.
I'm playing at SLS. I'm playing SLS, the pool party. So
nice.
We'll see how that goes. But I mean, hey man, I don't give a shit. I'll play a quinceañera or a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I need to get out of my house.
At this point, I'll play a Wendy's parking lot.
Dude, straight up. I played some weird shows too. I played Dioro's car show where people pull up in their cars.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
That was bizarre. That was very bizarre.
Besides bizarre, when you stand on stage and you look out and there's a bunch of cars, what do you like? This is not your traditional club show where you look out and you see a bunch of girls and dudes and people popping bottles and doing all that fun shit. You look out and there's like a Honda Sonata.
It was, yeah, dude. It was like it was strange.
Beep if you drive a Toyota. Beep if you drive a Toyota.
Dude, that's what was crazy. I'm like, what do I say? Oh, everyone honk if you're horny. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
what?
Yes. Beep beep.
And everyone had their little like they bought a parking spot, right? So they park and then they have like a little dancing zone. And then people were like delivering booze and food to these people. I mean, it was like Sonic on steroids.
Okay.
That's how I looked with live music. And it was cool. I mean, the full production, and Dioro sold out like 3 nights. He crushed it. And it was like at the Shrine in Anaheim. It was cool, but it was just bizarre.
Yeah, it just feels weird.
It was weird, dude. I mean, going from nightclubs to shaking people's hands and people throwing shit at me, you know, to standing there and people honking, flashing their lights. Like,
is this honk because they hate my set or they love my set? Ah, fuck it, who cares? Like, honk if you're horny.
Exactly. Beep, beep. It was, man. It was a strange time, but it was cool. It was cool to get out. It was cool to see my friends for the first time in a while. And you know, this whole quarantine thing has been, man, I've learned languages. I've read more books than I can ever imagine. Like, it's crazy. I'm an old man now. I am an old man.
Yeah. Young stud to old man in literally 9 months. You did like an art installation in your house too, right? Like by your staircase. It's like this crazy look. Yeah. I mean, your house is absolutely crazy. Nuts.
Dude,
but you deserve that, man.
Man, thank you, dude. I've worked my ass off to get to where I'm at today in my life, but I do love decorating my house. It's the flamboyant side of me. I love doing crazy things to my house. It's my, you know, I see this a lot too. A lot of people now realize that their house is their office.
Right.
So they want to imagine themselves in a situation where they go, oh God, I'm sitting out in front and I see like, you know, shitty landscape in my house, or like, I don't like this. So people are realizing, hey, maybe if I dump some money into the house, it's going to be my office. I mean, that's how the world is going now. It's great. So I've made my house a home, man.
That's like, good.
I love Vegas. I love the weather's a little bit much, but it's not snowing.
Yeah. Check mark there.
You know, it's been a good transition, and I got lucky, dude. I got so lucky. I moved out here 2 months before COVID. So now everyone from California is moving to Vegas or to Texas or Miami. But dude, the taxes are wild in California. Like, my parents live there and they're like, we're going to move. We can't afford this. It's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, Vegas, I love how Vegas is becoming one of those spots where a lot of people are going, like a lot of creatives are going. I don't know how deep into like the gaming scene you are, but you know, you're seeing like all of these massive esports organizations be like, dude, I'm out of California. You know, people are just pulling out of California left and right. And it's like you said, it's Vegas, it's Miami, or it's Texas.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, people are like, fuck off. And here,
I mean,
it's 1 degree.
Arizona was one of the places too, but Arizona just got really expensive really quick. And, you know, talking about Johnny Manziel, he lives in Scottsdale and he came out here just to hang out. And he was just like, dude, like, this is incredible for the tax benefits. And it's, okay, you got to deal with the weather. The summer is hot, but you get used to it. You know, 100 degree heat, stay inside.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's what air conditioning's for.
God bless.
God bless. AC.
But it's been a good transition, man. It's been good.
That's good.
Like I said, my life is drastically changed. Everyone's life is drastically changed. So I'm eager to see what the entertainment industry is doing, because it's kind of the last resort right now for the whole entire entertainment industry.
Yeah.
It's sketchy. No one knows what's up. But going back to Miami, if everyone started giving zero fucks like Miami, I mean,
we could be somewhere.
Look at David Grutman. The dude is, it's normal. It is legit normal in Miami. It's mind blowing. Vegas is kind of like that. You could go out to dinners. You got to wear masks when you go everywhere, of course.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's no lines to grocery stores. There's no lines to restaurants. You could literally go inside of a restaurant and sit down.
Right.
Go into a casino. The only thing that's not open are strip clubs and nightclubs. That's it.
Right. Where everybody has all the fun. No, you can eat, but you cannot have fun.
It's like prime rib, strippers. Nah.
Yeah.
You can have the prime rib, though.
Prime rib, yes. So you're playing in Miami. You know, I want to go back a few years. You know, you had an Ultra performance with OT Genesis.
Wild.
Absolute bonkerland. How did that come about?
Oh, man. So this was wild, man, because this is before OT blew up.
Yeah,
like,
this
way before he blew up.
That song ended up becoming just ridiculously viral. Like,
yeah, it was crazy. Not a lot of people know this, but I helped with the production on the original of Coco. So I was able to access the stems of the song for a remix. So I wanted to see how well it would do with a remix. And at the time, the song was gaining momentum. It was around when Facebook didn't monetize shit.
Yeah.
So you could post something and it would be like, holy shit, 1 million views, you know? Now It's, dude, I'm lucky to even get any social interaction now on Instagram or whatever if I'm showing titties or ass, you know? It's like,
yeah.
So yeah, he's a Long Beach native, and OT, super nice guy. I mean, really well-rounded, great parents. I think his mom's a manager, like really cool ass people. And I was working at the time with Vince Staples, who's another Long Beach native, and he introduced me to him, and that's how the relationship started. It was like one dude was like, hey, you should work with this guy named Makj. He's like a idiot. He's like a dance techno producer. That's how they introduced me. I'm like, no, bro, don't. No, I'm like, I'm already white. Like, don't do that.
Please don't put techno anywhere close to me.
So him and I like worked for a bit. We did another song that never came out, but I was able to get the stems for Coco and then make that remix. And then that remix started gaining more momentum than the original.
Yeah.
And
remix is great.
I was like, hey man, do you want to come out to Miami and perform Coco with me? And he's like, yo, dog, I've never been on a plane before.
Wow.
I was like, no worries. I'll buy your $85 ticket to Miami.
Right.
I'll get you a hotel. He's like, bro, I've never been on a plane or never been on a boat. We got to be on a boat in Miami. I'm like, done.
Yeah.
So
say the words.
So I put him in the hotel. I put him at the Fontainebleau right next to my room.
Oh, geez.
We got to hang out for a bit. We get on the Ultra boat and he was freaking out. He was like, dude, I've never been on a boat. It's like the Titanic. I'm like, we're good, bro.
Yeah, this thing is massive.
Go and play. Still homies to this day, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that portion of Ultra was just iconic because that song was the biggest song in the world shortly thereafter.
I think I was the only guy at Ultra that has ever brought out a hip hop act. And now it's like a common thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people lose track of that. Like before that, I brought out Little John before that set. And then I brought out OT the next year.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of.
Go ahead.
It's been a wild ride because everyone knows me as kind of like the open format guy.
Right.
And I've been able to use that to my advantage as well. Like, because I play in a lot of, bottle clientele rooms.
Right.
Which is gained me more notoriety as an open format DJ. So a lot of these dudes, when they hear me scratch or play hip hop, they're like, oh, you just don't do EDM.
Right.
So I needed to make that apparent when I was playing at Ultra and playing mashups and a lot of hip hop transitions and making it show that like, it's like A-Track, TJR was doing it for a while, Vice, a lot of these guys kind of get lost in the mix because people are not looking at the art of DJing anymore. They're just looking at like, what songs is he playing?
Right.
So I needed to make that very well known. And so I wanted to bring him out and I did. And it was great. My manager made a good call and I wasn't cheap and,
we're back from technical difficulties. Sorry, there's a Pornhub ad popped up on my screen. We had to get that off really quickly.
fucking Zoom, dude.
It was the
fucking Zoom.
It was lots of porn on my laptop, and we had to clear it out. So back to what I was saying about like your hip hop influence and like what brought you into that and mixing it with the electronic world.
Ooh, yeah. So I'm from between LA and San Francisco, Central California, little small town called San Luis Obispo, and Chuck Liddell, fun fact, is from there.
Slow. Is that what they call it? Slow
town.
Yeah,
slow town. It's legitimately slow. There's no air. I mean, there wasn't an airport, but now there is one because of the college is funding all of this, which is great. But I was raised there, and I would always make trips with my boys up to San Francisco when I was like 16, 17 years old. It was only about an hour and a half drive. So I was really familiar with like the Bay Area hyphy scene.
Okay.
So Keek the Sneak, East Side Boys, Too Short, Andre Nicotina, all that shit was like the biggest inspiration for me throughout my whole entire DJ career, because that was like the original party music for me.
Yeah.
So being kind of put in that situation at an early age and kind of seeing, people doing the Fizz dance and all that crazy shit, I was able to see what worked really well to make people move, to make people dance. And so that to me was how that's how I got inspired to be a DJ, for sure. That scene.
That's awesome. I mean, West Coast hip hop is just massive. I mean, it always has. You get the East Coast, you get the West Coast. You have Tupac on one side, you have Biggie on the other, and the cultures are kind of the same. But yeah, your sets impart so much hip hop, and I think it brings it just a completely different level to your DJ sets. And like you said, playing with, in clubs with clientele where you said in an interview one time, you like to see the people that work in clubs dancing. The promoters, the owners, the bartenders, the bar backs. Like, those are the people you want to make dance because they hear the same shit every night.
Every night, and of course you can get praised by, the club promoter that walked you in, or the host. Oh, great set. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But if a security guard comes up to you and goes, hey bro, that shit was tight. He actually took the time to be like, this dude's actually mixing this shit pretty good.
Right.
Because they hear the same shit every fucking night, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was always an analogy I gave to a lot of the up and coming DJs. And to be honest, like, I love opening act DJs, like walking in there early and hearing their sets. I mean, a lot of the dudes that play every single night, those are the guys that are the hustlers.
Yeah.
Those are the dudes that can play a set for anyone, because no one is there. Unfortunately, no one's there to see them. So they got to really set the room and really gain the respect of everyone that they're working for. I mean, it's a daily job for them. So those are the guys I look up to. I mean,
I think that's what I admire. That's what I admire about you as well. Like, you go to the club early and you hang out and you listen and you just give that opening DJ some love. You know what I mean? Which I think is super commendable for you.
For sure. I mean, man, I started there too. I remember one of my first shows I played with, do you know DJ Politic is?
Yeah.
So Paul and I have been friends forever. He actually was one of the first dudes to take a risk and let me stay at his house when I was like 16 years old in LA. He was like, here's my key, stay at my house. It's all good.
Practice DJing, bro.
So yeah, straight up. So Paul let me open for him at Playhouse in LA, and I fucking butchered this set. It was so bad. I was trying to be cool. And one of the owners of Playhouse walks up to me and goes, I'm not going to pay you tonight because that was so fucking bad. And I was like devastated. I was like, my life sucks, whatever.
Yeah.
And a year later I played Coachella,
yeah.
Little things like that get me kickstarted. You gotta get shut down sometimes, man. And it's how you pick yourself up and become who you are. It's cliche shit, but it's true. But those are one of the first times I remember DJing and being like, dude, maybe if I just didn't think so hard about this and I really focused on the people working at the club. I see the security guards, I see the bar backs, I see the promoters, I see the guys, like you said, that are there every fucking night. The bottle service girls too, man. those girls have an ear like crazy.
Right.
Because they have to hear the same shit. But nowadays, Mark, man, no one gives a fuck anymore because it's all about who sells the most tickets.
Right. Yeah.
About who sells the most bottles, who sells the most tables, how much money can a club make? Which is not, it's good business, right? But it's booking DJs that are hot currently that have no longevity. That's the unfortunate thing. You see like Tiesto, Calvin Harris, Diplo, those dudes all know how to DJ. Those guys have been doing this shit since their fucking early teens, right? So they know how to read a room. They know how to do, they've put their due diligence in their work.
Right.
But then you get like newbie acts that came out of their parents' bedroom and became sensations overnight because they had one song, and they get put into these rooms. And it's the most awkward shit ever because they don't know how to read people.
Right.
And they have a shelf life unless they keep making hits. But most of them, I would say 90% of them have a shelf life of 2 years.
Yeah.
Make a bunch of fucking money, get hated by every promoter because they don't sell tickets, and then never get booked again.
And then get out. Right.
And then get out.
In and out. Speaking of in and out fast food chains, I don't know that you remember the story, and I'm sure you will. You and I did a show together, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. It's called Hyperglow.
What club?
Called Hyperglow.
Oh, yeah.
In Worcester,
dude.
Massachusetts, bro.
Worcester, Massachusetts. Bro.
And I pick you up from the airport, and you're like,
hella smart. I'm hella smart, bro. Hella smart.
Yeah, you are. And Worcester.
My brother's wicked smart, bro.
Wicked smart. So I pick you up from the airport, and we're going to the show, and you're like, dude, I'm hungry. Let's stop at Chipotle. I'm like, all right, no worries. Ooh. You pull out a Chipotle for Life card.
Yeah, I still got that.
Which is just, it's like a unicorn, right? It's like that.
It's a diarrhea for life.
It's
card,
a diarrhea for Life card. Well, I mean, at least your bowels are clean.
Bro, I can't be caught dead eating that anymore, man. Like my body has completely rejected that.
It's just shutting down. It's like no more Mexican.
Oh no, I mean I can eat Mexican food, but Chipotle hits on another level. I mean, I don't want to say I have IBS, but I do.
Yeah.
And so going to Chipotle, I get it for free.
Yeah.
Sounds like a blessing. It ain't a blessing, dude. I get it for free and I still won't eat there. Every year for Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'll like go get 1,000 burritos from each location in Chipotle. I'll go give them to police officers. I'll give them to homeless people. Like I still make good with the card, but at the same time, I won't be caught dead eating a burrito from Chipotle. Like it hits me, dude. I start sweating. Like I gotta be next to a toilet, dude.
It's funny that you say that you give it all away because that day you paid for every single person in that building's Chipotle. I don't know if you remember this. See, you've been around the world so many times and done so much that there are things in my career that I remember that are like, well, this has never happened before. And like since that day, never happened again. Never seen another Chipotle card. So that thing sticks into my head. And yeah, you were like, I'm hungry, man. Let's go to Chipotle. And then you literally bought every single person in this tiny Worcester Chipotle their food. And I was like, this guy's the fucking man. This guy is the man.
Dude, you know what? I remember that it was in a like a convenient mall.
Yeah,
like
it was a convenience store mall. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I do remember that shit.
We called ahead, and the guy was just like, "You don't have that card. You don't have that card." And then we walked in, and you approached the fucking counter, slid the card, and the guy was just like, "Oh my god!" Like it was literally like he saw a ghost. And then you're like, "I'm taking everybody else's order too," and I was just like,
"You know what?
This guy is the fucking man." First of all, like we were already boys at that point, but I'm like, this guy's just a fucking man. Like the best.
Mean, I wasn't a man at that point. I was like,
we were both young men.
160 pounds, dude. I was 160 pounds, looking like disgust.
You had a little.
I had the shaved head
with the bun. Man, no, you had the bun. I think.
Oh, dude,
I think you had the bun
in my life.
I think it might have been blonde too.
Bro, I was so unhealthy. I was so Wait, hold on. Hyperglow. I remember that. It was in the club, but it was so packed.
Yeah.
I remember that shit.
It was a theater.
Backstage area. Yeah. And Mikey P was there too. Shout out Mikey P.
Yeah.
Yo, I think I have Alzheimer's, man. Like I can't remember half of this shit.
Yeah, dude, there's parts of your life that I'm sure you just completely erased to fill with other parts. You know what I mean?
I wish it wasn't like that, man. I really do. Like
I do the same thing. I just forget about shit. Man. Just forget about things sometimes. You're just like, I don't remember that. I'm sorry. But that story.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I mean, I look at the positives with all these times where you have to remember shit.
Yeah.
there are so many good memories that a lot of the good memories also get washed away.
Right.
Because there's so many of them. So you can look at the positive around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree, man. And that whole story is like when people ask me, hey, man, what is some cool shit you've done? I was like, okay, well, this is top 5, top 3. Like, Ja Rule gave me a nickname once. That's fucking lit. Yeah,
that's cool.
He calls me
cool.
He calls me Money Mark, but like you're in the same list of cool shit that's happened over the last 12 years of my career. That and
sick,
you also gave me diarrhea that day. Now that I'm looking back.
Yeah, it was an early show. We ate that shit at like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
I remember that day, dude. And I think was it just that show or did we do something after that?
No, it was
I'm
just
really confused.
It was just that show. It was
I remember
it was a
hanging
one
out
and
with.
done.
You know what's crazy? I remember hanging out with. Oh man, what is his name? Oh God, he's like a trance DJ and he lives in Connecticut.
Audion.
We hung out with Audion that
Yeah.
day too. Mind blowing how I'm remembering.
Audion, great guy. Nate's a great dude.
Yeah, he's a super sweet kid. I wonder what he's up to. Making trance?
Probably, yeah, just fucking doom, having
just
fun.
1:30, just
all right,
killing it.
One last thing before we take this show off. New York has announced that because of COVID-19, the pantless subway ride is canceled. How do you feel about that?
I don't even know what that is.
People ride the fucking subway with their pants off. That's like a thing. And
don't you go to? Wouldn't you get like? You would get what? You would get
that's exactly.
Whoa, you get a misdemeanor. That's a misdemeanor shit, bro.
That is exactly the face that I thought I was gonna get the second I said pantless subway ride.
Dude, hey man, I'll give you the hack on life right now. Hack on life. If you're ever about to get into a fight and you don't want to get into a fight, like I can't. I got too much shit to lose, or I'm just a pussy. I'm probably a pussy. But you just take your pants off. You take your fucking pants off, dude. No one's gonna touch you when your dick's out.
That's true. That's true. Oh, you're taking the underwear off too. Underwear.
Everyone's like,
everything's off.
Yo, this guy's fucking crazy. That's how straight up. I've learned that one. I'm just taking my pants off, dude. Just.
Yeah, and you put your hands up like that too. You're like, nope. Do you like thrust the hips forward?
Dude, I Me Too'd myself.
Boom. And on that note, baby, we wrap up the Marckie P show. Huge thanks to Makj, absolute stud of a human being. Love you, brother. Catch you on the next one.
Thanks for having me.
Peace.
Peace.